Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory Podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. What's good, Danny? How have you been?
I've been good, dude. Long day, back to the grind. Happy February to you and our listeners. Dude, I love how January always takes forever and we're always surprised by this, but then you already look up and you're like, yo, the first week of February is already fucking done.
Yeah.
What is happening, bro?
No, it's crazy.
So it's crazy, dude. Especially on my end, we got my wedding, God willing, coming up in a couple months. So just the planning of that shit, bro. Dude, the nickel and diming by these fucking vendors is already happening, though. I don't know if you felt this for yours, but bro, we asked the vendor for an extra hour for the photographer and stuff, and she was like, "Oh yeah, no problem, we could definitely do that. It's $650." I'm like,
yeah,
bro, it's $650 for 1 hour, dog?
Yeah, no, when you go through the wedding process, you're like, why am I in the wrong business? I should work in this industry. You could charge these motherfuckers just to breathe around the cameraman.
Just throw a number out there, bro. And they're they just do again, I pushed back and I asked, and she was like, no, these are our set rates. I was like, all right, cool. We'll get back to you. But the other, dude, there was a vendor who had to move the lights from the rooftop to the downstairs bar for our after party. And that was a $250 fee. I was like, bro, can you work on that for me, bro? Because I can move the lights myself, my G.
Yeah. They even charge. No, continue.
No, I was just like, bro, I don't think I should pay this. And then he came back a day later. All right, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. I was like, bro, you're just saying numbers and seeing if people pay, and it's like, bro, fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah. I wonder if they get toward the closer to the date, if they get more desperate, but I'm pretty sure my wife asked if we could bring our own lights or something, and they were going to charge a kind of a corkage fee for the light, basically. If you're bringing your own, sure, it'll be half price, but we're still going to charge you for I don't know, the setup. What they're trying to claim the labor was most of the fee and shit, something stupid like that.
Bro, yeah. So again, we're coming at that stage where either there's new costs coming up or the remainder of the fees are due now, and it's just Jesus, bro. Again, you budget for these things. God's great. These are all first world problems, right? We should all be so lucky to throw big weddings, but when it's all hitting you at once, you're like, Jesus. So yeah, life is good though. Played some basketball today for the first time post marathon, so my legs didn't collapse on me. So yeah, nice. Man, really good over here, bro. How's life been for you over there?
It's been good. Today, my sales partner flew to China, so she's gonna be out there for a few weeks.
On a work thing or just on her own?
Just on her own.
Okay.
It's Chinese New Year, and she's just bringing her child to visit her parents.
Nice.
And she's gonna drop off the kid for 3 months, which is interesting. So good for her. But I'm a free man as well because she's gone, so I get to kind of do what I want.
Nice. Do you is she your partner, pseudo also leader kind of thing, or
no?
Really?
No, where she's more involved in the hard pitching. I'm more of I'll provide the data for the pitching, but we still tag team the conversations with clients. But it obviously we collaborate and have to bounce ideas off each other, and sometimes it doesn't align. It's not there's conflict, but now I don't have to run shit and be like, hey, well, I'm thinking if we tell them this and this and that, which for some people, it might be not as fun if you don't like having to make your own decisions. But
sure,
at this point, I'm used to my clients. So yeah, I think it's going to feel like I'm kind of running my own mini business for the next few weeks, which is nice.
Very nice. Good for you. How's the weather over there?
Shitty. Today was nice though. People have been I was are we just in the one tiny pocket where California's not going to shit? Because people have been texting us, asking us if we're okay, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, bro, I saw that. I thought it was more LA though. I didn't know there was
I believe it's more south, but it's definitely in the Bay as well. Trees and shit falling over on our rooftop.
Just unexpected rain for this time of year?
I think it was just very aggressive. Very aggressive rain. I think winds as well. Obviously areas that are close to the coast or in the hills, those areas in particular, flooding is more common. For us, nothing too crazy. I mean, some chairs and shit blew into the pool on the roof, but outside of that, I just don't like nasty, muddy weather. First world problems.
It's just depressing, bro. It's depressing. It's depressing.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't like you don't want to look outside and just fucking gloomy. Dude, here is cold as well, but then it's gonna be 85 degrees on Monday morning. It's just like, bro, make up your fucking mind, dog. Like, are we moving past this, or is this gonna be extended winter? But apparently the groundhog saw his shadow, and that means spring is coming early, which is great for the wedding. So there you go.
Sweet.
So yeah, there's good news. Good news is on the way. But let's get into it. Episode 167. Episode 166 is currently up everywhere. We made that one. I think the name that we put up was "Can You Run with a Broken Foot?" So listen to the episode. It'll make more sense. But episode 167, again, there's plenty we can talk about. But I do think the biggest thing in pop culture as a whole is the drop of the Apple Vision Pro. We spoke about this a few episodes ago when it first was introduced, I think at like the Apple conference, and it officially dropped. Was it last weekend? Right? The last week of January?
Yes, February 2nd.
February 2nd. Okay, there you go. So luckily enough for us, Blair actually had his, was it a test trial yesterday?
Yep, a demo, 30-minute demo.
Cool. Let us know how it went.
Should I start with the good or the bad? You pick.
Start with the bad.
The bad. So I would say, I mean, for one, I was super excited. Obviously, I had seen a ton of videos about this product for the past several months, kind of positioning it as this all-in-one TV entertainment system / time machine. And like at this point, I'm like, there's no way Apple... Because Apple only releases products when they've kind of perfected it, which is why there's always a running joke of Samsung did this 10 years ago, blah, blah. But Apple's philosophy is not to be first, it's to be best. So obviously my expectations were incredibly high. So when I put on the device, the first thing so there's an Apple employee guiding you through the process. And he asked me what I see. My wife was sitting in front of me and I saw this big, like, white, cloudy hello next to her, which was impressive. But I think what was disappointing was the feature that's called pass-through. It's basically the frontal camera that's supposed to allow you to see the real world clearly. Wasn't as clear as the trailers made it seem. The trailers made it seem like you put this shit on and it's like you don't even have anything on.
Right, because I'm seeing people like driving with this shit on and like stuff like that. So I'm assuming this shit is crystal clear.
Yeah, it is clear, but it's still pretty. It's, at least for me, it was grainy. Apparently, you need the perfect lighting for it to be like impossible to discern the difference. But in my case, I was like, I clearly am wearing a device. I even tested the Quest 3, which I returned, and the pass-through was kind of similar. It's good enough to walk around the house, but you can't, use your phone and read a book. You can't do any of that with the pass-through. So that kind of concerned me because that was my first impression of the device. But in any case,
your first thought was like, bro, this is not what I thought it would be. Like initially,
right. And that was out of all the review videos I had seen, that was one of the things people kept emphasizing was, oh, there's no lag, which was true, but they made it seem like you put on the goggles and it's you will grab a beer and watch TV and do all kinds of shit with it on because it's so clear. But that wasn't the case for me. And then another thing I immediately noticed was the comfort. Like it was very heavy. Granted, it comes just with one strap around your head, so it's very front focused, but you can get a second strap for the top, but I didn't test that, unfortunately. But I was like, as soon as I put this in,
go ahead, sorry, I didn't cut you off.
No, I was gonna just say, as soon as I put it on, I was like, I definitely couldn't, watch like a 2-hour movie with this without this second strap.
But do they ask for your dimensions? Because you told me there's like a fitting process. Do they do that for the demo as well, or no?
Yeah, good question. That's actually what happened in the initial process. It's super easy. You connect to it with your iPhone. There's like a barcode. It wasn't even on the device, actually. It was the Apple support team was like, scan this barcode. It had me move my head around and it kind of gathered that data. And then in 2 seconds, it was like, you need a small band and like, it has to be wide this way or whatever. And they just
Pause.
brought it out on this platter. I felt like I was in a fucking futuristic Star Wars scene because it literally looked like a food platter, but it had the fucking Vision Pro on it.
So that's sick though, right? Like it felt like
Yeah.
it definitely. I'm assuming so far though. Again, maybe disappointing initially, but it seems like it felt special though, right? Like
Oh,
it
yeah,
wasn't like no
Special
regular.
experience.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it definitely wasn't. It was special. And then I would say the other couple disappointing things, and none of these disappointments are that massive. It's just like, for context, I'm thinking of the price, and I'm like, for that price, I need this to blow me away in every aspect. And
Which
I think
the price for that, the current version out is what, like 30? Is it 3,500?
3,500 before taxes.
Understood.
So yeah, like 38 after everything all said and done.
So essentially, you're paying $4,000, and this economy is wild. But we spoke about this in the past. Like, this isn't for the average consumer. This is for the person right now who wants to be on the cutting edge of tech. Because we know in 4 or 5 years, it's not going to be that price. It's going to be cheaper. But
exactly. So then next, well, he teaches me how to use my hand gestures and
like
the eye tracking.
That shit, like
super intuitive. That was accurate.
Nice.
And yeah, within seconds, I'm moving things around. It did feel like Iron Man, which was his analogy. So that was super cool.
Pretty sick, dude.
But the two remaining disappointments were the field of view. So I could tell like I was wearing goggles. So in one of the scenes, you're in Oregon, and that felt super realistic. Like I was looking around. The only thing that wasn't realistic was it was raining and I didn't feel the rain. That was pretty much it. So that's kind of weird. I don't know how they can ever get around that. Like he could have stood over me with a water bottle or something maybe, but
yeah.
That was super dope, but at the same time, you can kind of vaguely see the black outline in your peripherals, kind of like you're looking through binoculars.
Sure.
That's just like a limitation that, like, I'm sure every company eventually will get over. But for me, I
either get over or just be like, bro, like this is as close to like a different world we can give you, bro. So like, just fucking deal with aligning. You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah. So the grand scheme of things.
Do you feel anything though when you're doing the thing? Like, is there like a like anything, like a sensation that kind of goes through it all, or is this all just like intuitive, like it just reads your hand movements?
There isn't, but potentially you could set something up, I'm sure, because I didn't realize this till later, but you can also set up sounds for certain commands. Like someone said, like clicking your tongue, like you could have that take you back to the home screen or something.
That's sick.
Okay. It's pretty cool.
This is more on the negative side. So what were like the 2 or 3 or however many like truly like, oh, this was like positives about it?
Positives, the hand tracking and hand gestures and eye tracking, super intuitive and easy. I could easily see if I were to use this device enough and I took it off, like I would be accustomed to doing that for everything. Second, I would say the 3D photos and spatial video were like pretty mind-blowing. You could tell obviously that it was a little grainy here and there. Honestly, pretty similar to what I've seen on the Quest device that I have, which is obviously much cheaper.
Do photos need to be taken in a certain way, or can this like make you feel that way about like old photos?
So you can't do it with old photos. You have to use maybe that'll be a possibility, but at least what I was shown, he was like, this photo was taken with the Vision Pro. And it was like 3 kids and a dog kind of frozen in time. And again, it didn't necessarily look like I could reach out and like I was back in time with them. But at the same time, it was 3D enough to where I was like, damn, I almost could, I feel like I'm looking at someone's memory. So that was pretty accurate with what a lot of the trailers showed. However, there is with the iPhone 15 and future models, you can take 3D video and photos, I believe, but there was a 3D video of like a kid playing soccer with his mom or something. And that also looked like I was just in a movie scene, and my memory was just like in front of me, which was insane. And that made me think to myself, well, damn, maybe I should get an iPhone 15 and this and start collecting memories now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like for us, right? Unfortunately, we've been, I mean, everyone's lost someone at some point, but for us, recent memory, we've lost a couple loved ones. So like, yeah, like the idea of like just putting a video up and it's like feels like you're almost like immersed in it in a weird way. I wonder if that's like possible. But you're saying as of right now, it's only with like future technology. Like it can't let you do that with like old videos and stuff.
Correct. Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
So did you leave this saying, all right, I'm copying this? Or like now, or am I gonna? Are you of the mindset there seems to be enough kinks that let me just see how like the second version of this, how that plays out?
No, I left it immediately, saying to myself, I'm definitely not getting this, because with I make a lot of decisions based on feelings, but logic as well when I can. And in this instance, I'm like, well, it's $4,000, but is it 10 to 15 times better than the Quest? And the Quest is like collecting dust for me for the most part. So I'm like, the last thing I want to do is something that costs $4,000 that's collecting dust. And for me, one thing I did forget to mention is I did see some brief moments of 3D movies like the Super Mario Brothers.
Oh shit!
Super
okay.
phenomenal. As clear as a TV. Like I just stretched it out, pause, and I could see someone who doesn't have like a big space for a TV or wants to go on a plane and travel, how this would be amazing for that. I just, in this point in time, don't think it's enough of an incentive, because how often am I really going to do that? But
is there like, do you have to put your, so when you do the stretching of the screen, do you have to like lean back to like make it feel clearer, or you can just do that and your head stays positioned normally?
No, you could do whatever you want. I didn't have to move back, but if you're,
you know what I mean though? Like I didn't know like if you're like on a plane and you have to like now like make the ceiling of the plane or something like.
No, if you're on the plane, basically you can toggle how immersed you are, so you could block out like the person's seat in front of you and be in Oregon or whatever. Like I was saying, it was just like a lake, and then you can stretch the screen and like push it out, and it'll look like it's 20 feet in front of you, but
got it.
You don't see the seat or any of that. So
got it. That shit's not just like right in front of your, like literally like an inch away from your eye. Got it.
So that's cool. That's dope. But
so what would 4, you rate it on a scale of 10? Yeah, 4,000. Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, then what are you rating this version of it?
I'd say 7 out of 10.
Not bad.
If $4,000 is like chump change to you, get it. But
I
would go home fucking sweating, like forcing myself to use it every day just to justify it. And I don't like feeling that way about any product.
So dude, so like obviously like it's funny, it's meme worthy, like seeing people like on Instagram walking about with it at the mall, wearing it at dinner table. Like, did you at any point see yourself like, all right, yeah, like if I wear this, I'm gonna wear this shit out and about like every single day? Or did you feel this would be like when you're the comfort of your own home, or like on a trip or something?
Definitely at home. I would wear it publicly if I'm traveling, but I also wouldn't be that guy at the fucking bar, like swiping and pinching and shit. Like I feel like at this point it's just a flex. It's a status symbol. Like I got it. Not only got it first, but I got bread to spend. But 5 years from now, I wouldn't feel as douchey.
Because we're expecting everyone to kind of have it.
Yeah, I think 5 to 10 years from now, there's gonna be a smaller, lighter version where it's not as weird. Like maybe not 70% or 80% of people will have it like iPhone, but I'm sure like half will have some sort of device similar to it. But the thing is, since it's also very pricey, I don't want to get shot over a fucking Super Mario Brothers film. Just like,
bro, I remember, and you probably remember this, but like I don't know if this also happened like in LA when you were living there, like in high school or middle school. Like, bro, I remember like the cops in New York had to tell people to stop wearing the white headphones that the Apple iPhones came in, because it was like a target. Like if criminals saw you wearing the white headphones, you were getting robbed in broad daylight. They didn't give a fuck. So, dude, I can only imagine what a criminal would do if they saw like a mark walking around like
Yeah,
bro, like
yeah.
give me that first of all. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I mean, you know what would be dope though is like, I'm sure, I'm thinking super far ahead in the future, but if you do have a device like that on and it's like recording, I'm sure there'll be a quick way to like, you're
call the
looking at
cops.
the person. Yeah, you can just send that information to the police department and it'll discourage people from at least being so bold about, you know, just going after random ass people.
Yeah. So question for you though. So did they discuss at the demo like what it can't do yet? Like, because I know you and I spoke offline about like I heard there's certain apps that are still, you know, being tentative as far as joining the platform. So like, did he go into like, hey, like just, you know, like if you buy this, you can't do like YouTube or Netflix or anything like that?
No. And I think part of the reason, obviously, besides not like ruining the sales pitch, I think
Of course,
you can still access that stuff on Safari anyways.
Okay.
So from what I hear, like those apps, like a lot of these app developers are kind of waiting to test the market. They don't want to waste time and money if, you know, only X amount of
1%
people
of
are
the
going to
world
use it.
is-
Yeah. And they can
Got
just
it.
go on Safari anyways. But yeah, they didn't really mention any limitations.
But the Safari version is almost like looking at a picture from like an iPhone 13 on that platform, right? You can do it, but it's not going to give you the immerse feel, which is what it's like intended to do, right? Like if you're going to have that.
To be honest, I don't know like if there'd be much. I think the only barrier is just it's a lot quicker to get on the app, but I think the experience would be the same.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting, dude. But yeah, I mean, dude, like I think the moment it dropped, everyone was talking about it. My brother-in-law copped it immediately, so good for him. But yeah, I mean, some of the things look pretty cool. But I think like with anything that Apple drops immediately, I think it's like a wait and see, right? Because it's like if you don't need this, then especially at this price point, right? Right. Again, at that price point, it's not some like again, if if $4,000 is nothing to you, bro, like if that's just like half a day's work, like who gives a fuck? Then dude, you go for it. But for I think the majority of America, it's like, bro, like $4,000 right now is like this shit better change my life, bro. And I don't think it's doing that.
And I think it will in 10 years. Cause I mean, when I look back on the iPhone, I made fun of my friend. I'm like, why do you need this dumb shit? All you're doing is like looking at YouTube and stuff. Like 3 years later, got my own. Literally, I was like, how did I even survive without this shit? Same thing with the AirPods. I'm like, there was jokes about, oh, just cut off the wires. You look stupid, blah, blah, blah. I went and bought some knockoff ones on Amazon and I was like clowning my now wife, like, why'd you spend all this money on these AirPods? My shit's the same and it's from China. And then I think she got me some for my birthday or something a couple years later. I'm like, how the hell did I have these ghetto ass? I was just like, now I'm sold. Like every product, I'm just admitting to myself one day I'm gonna be a fanboy of it.
Yeah, I just think this one's gonna take a little bit longer because of I think the drastic change to the human experience, right? Like it just feels like having that shit on is just a very different experience. Like we're always been used to putting headphones in our ears, right? Like that's something that we've been used to since we were kids. We've always, since we were 12 years old, there's been cell phones around, right? So we've been used to that. This has always been like some futuristic, like, do we like a luxury, right? Whereas again, I wonder, and time will tell, right? But I wonder if this ever becomes like the luxury good that truly becomes a necessity for just middle income families to just constantly use on a daily basis. Like that I wonder about. And maybe it is the part of like once that clarity part you were mentioning becomes like perfect, right? Like there's no slight like blurriness or whatever, then maybe that's the game changer. But I just said the idea of putting that thing on and just going about your life just seems so drastically different that like I do think that may take longer than like 5 to 10 years, where I think, which has been like the normal average of what most of these big changes from Apple have done to society.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Personally, I think if it gets to like a sunglass like visored level where it's like super light and everything,
like it's
I think
fucking Ray-Bans or some shit, just like like it's that quick or something. Yeah,
I think then it'll be honestly much more comfortable than using a phone where you're constantly your neck's down and you're not paying attention to shit. Like when it's like a glasses type design, you can just literally kick back and do the pinching, and like it'll be infinitely easier than anything else. But it's gonna take a long time to get there, probably.
So, question, because I saw people. So, is it's the headset? Where does the wire? Is the wire going into like a battery pack? Like, what's the wire consist of?
Yeah, the wire goes into a battery pack, but I
Okay.
don't. People keep saying, "Oh, it's not wireless," blah blah. I don't think you need it plugged in at all times. I think it was just for the demo, or people just don't want it to die. But I'm pretty sure you don't have to have it plugged in like that all the time.
Got it. Yeah, because I just remember the ones I saw. I just saw like the guy with like the wire in his pocket, and I didn't know I didn't know that like that wire went into your iPhone or something, because the thing is meant to be everything, right? You can make calls from that. Like it's all all in one. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, we'll see, man. But yeah, I'm glad you went for. I mean, you regardless, you enjoyed the experience, though, right? Like just the whole idea, like going there and the novelty of it.
Yeah, it was very dope to see a major company do something like this, because VR has been around, but it's always been random companies that you never heard of, and it was like purely for gaming and stuff. So I think with this and AI and all this stuff I'm seeing, I'm like, we're like going 100 miles an hour towards the future.
Yeah, dude, which is wild, and hopefully we don't get left behind, knock on wood. But I think we're gonna be all right. But cool, man. Excited for you. Yeah, but again, I'm not surprised that you decided to hold off, because again, it just feels like such a. I don't think it's like, from what you were saying, I don't think it's there yet. Like, for whatever it's there is, I don't think it's there yet. And to drop $4,000 for it, like, I feel like either you're a fucking complete techie, like you need it, or it's just like, dude, who gives a fuck? Like, I'm gonna spend this on nonsense tomorrow anyway. So, the time will tell. But cool. So that's the tech updates. I feel in the pop culture music updates for the listeners and viewers. I mean, the Grammys were this past weekend, bro. It's wild, bro. I think you and I spoke about this in the past. Like, bro, I remember when I was growing up in India, bro. Like, I would stay up till 2, 3 in the morning to watch the Grammys at like 12 years old. Like, I think from the age of like 9 to like 28, the Grammys were like everything to me, bro. Like, again, it's your favorite artist. They're gonna perform. You're gonna see them on the red carpet. And like, bro, now I just don't give a fuck, right? And I don't know if it's a mixture of the vote's not going, how I think it should over the last few years or whatever. I just don't care. But I think the biggest controversy this year could be around the rap category. So a big shout out to Killer Mike. Killer Mike won all 3 major rap categories from what I remember, including Rap Album of the Year. So we can start right there. Did you have any pushback on that?
For the rap category in general?
Well, just Killer Mike with the clean sweep.
I didn't have any pushback on it necessarily. I think just from my bias, I was hoping rap album Travis would have won, only because he was snubbed with Astroworld, and I was like, it would have been nice to see him get recognition later, which unfortunately seems to be the trend for like damn near everybody. It's like the album that should have got the award doesn't get it, but then they'll randomly give it to the person fucking 40 years later, like Nas, for instance.
Yeah, or DiCaprio or some shit. When DiCaprio finally won his Oscar. Yeah, I think there was a stat that came out that I think Travis has now been nominated 10 times and zero awards. So yeah, dude, I have no pushback on the Killer Mike thing. Again, I've told you offline, I haven't heard the album, but people who I trust in the industry who have heard it say it's a very good album. So dude, I have no issues with that. I mean, I did give pushback to you, I think, on the pod as well, as far as like Gunna not being nominated. I think there's something deeper there. Like, again, I don't. Complex seems to be like the holy grail when it comes to hip hop culture. And if like the biggest blog for hip hop is going to say this is album of the year and the Grammys are not even nominating, there seems like to be a massive disconnect there, dude. But my biggest beef with the Grammys this year is that, bro, we found out that Killer Mike won all 3 major rap categories before the show even started. Like, I don't understand how in 2024, when hip hop is by far the most popular popular genre in America, that's even like acceptable, bro. Like that's my biggest beef. It's like, dude, especially on the night that you're giving Jay-Z a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's like, bro, like read the fucking room, dude. So like, yeah. I think for me, dude, that was the most shocking thing of all this, bro. I'm like, yo, how is it? It's 5:45 p.m. on the East Coast, and I'm finding out about Killer Mike winning everything. He apparently got arrested, and the show hadn't even started yet. I'm like, bro, what is happening, dude?
I was so confused.
I went on my TV guide. I'm like, bro, did I miss it? It says no, pre-show at 7. I'm like, bro, what is going on? So, yeah, your thoughts on that, bro? Because I don't understand how anyone in hip hop would even like. I think Jay-Z even alluded to like we should like boycott this officially. Like I try to boycott this, but I still watch it. Blah blah blah. But like, bro, I feel like hip hop should truly boycott this shit. Get it? Not because of Killer Mike winning. The fact that just hip hop seems to be brushed to the side as like this little gimmicky thing when it's clearly the most revenue creating genre in the entire world when it comes to music.
I was utterly confused because like after you had sent me the text, I went online, I saw all the winners, yet the Grammys, the time that they indicated it would start, I hadn't approached that time.
So it was like 5 o'clock for you, like 8 o'clock for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, it hasn't even started. How are all the winners out? And then how is fucking Killer Mike already arrested? I'm like, did the simulation fuck up or what? And am I stuck like, I don't know, 5 hours into the future or some shit? Like I had no idea what was going on. Obviously that.
But side note, like that always happens. So I would just say this. So like, there's always a pre-show gala where they give awards, right? Because bro, there's just too many different like niche genres in the industry that I get. Like, bro, they give an award for like best Indian artist, best Indian contemporary. Like, bro, that could take 38 hours to do. Right. But again, to do that for all the major hip hop awards is wild, dog. Like that should never not be aired on live TV. That's like my beef. The pre-show awards always happen. And that's okay. Right. I guess my pushback is like that should never happen for a hip hop genre that is the leading moneymaker in all of fucking music.
Right. I think for me, what beyond, you know, just the Grammys as like an organization being messed up in all kinds of ways is just how indecisive everyone seems about how important the Grammys is. Does it matter? Does it not? Do we want real hip hop or do we want the popular person to win? Because I did listen to Killer Mike's album and it was beautiful.
Was it really like good? Yeah, like production wise?
Yeah, there's a couple of songs in particular I want to send to you. One of them damn near almost made me cry on the way home.
Oh wow!
But the album was beautiful. Now I'll still say I'll probably bump Travis more. To me, these awards are like. It's like if you were to ask me, yo, do you want to get pizza, sushi, or Mexican food Friday? And I'd be like, I'll tell you how I feel on Friday because it just kind of depends what mood I'm in. Killer Mike, like I might want to listen to him one day and then Travis the other, and they're both creative in their own rights. And I feel like there's never one objective way to please everyone because if Travis wins, then everyone screams, you know, real hip hop is underappreciated, and then now we see the flip side where it's like Travis isn't the popular one isn't appreciated, and people are like Drake are like, oh, the Grammys don't matter, who cares? Yet when people win, it's like the greatest fucking day of their life, and they're like, this is all I was working for. Thank you God, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, so basically what you're telling me is you're only happy when you win or your favorite artist wins. Otherwise, the Grammys suck. They get it wrong. Nothing matters. And that's just kind of, we go through this cycle every single year.
100%. No, for sure. I think, what was it last year when it was like The Weeknd wasn't nominated for shit and he had like the #1 selling album in the history of fucking music or something stupid. So no, for sure. I mean, I'm not opposed to the Grammys at all, dude. Again, I appreciate they always have like good performances. You know, again, I think Travis and Playboi Carti performed this year, which is great. It's a good look for hip hop in general. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. The idea of like that shit, like of not airing the hip hop awards is like shit that happened when like Will Smith was a rapper, bro. Like that happened in the 90s, dog. When this was like some small niche, just like, is this even gonna be a thing in 5-10 years? And it's like, bro, it's the biggest genre in the world. So how are you telling me you're not finding some time to put best rap album and best rap song on the fucking live show? Like that part, just again, I have no beef with Killer Mike winning anything. Again, like the actual awards part, again, it's like you said, it's such a great analogy. It's such a like how we feel at the time of us voting, right? And if they want in that moment, they feel moved to like, we want to give this to a pure hip hop at its finest, cool. no beef, right? You would hope they would get it right, quote unquote, with like the nominees, right? Like, bro, like, all right, man, maybe you're not gonna give it to Gunna, hypothetically, right? But bro, if everyone is telling you this is probably one of the best rap albums we've heard in years, at least fucking nominate the thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
don't go into like, well, he might be a snitch, so he like don't make this a part of the Grammys. But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. There's just something like that left. This is gonna be the worst pause of the episode. That left a really bad taste in my mouth. Pause. When it came to pause again. When it to do with fucking hip hop, bro. Like this is not fucking some again, do some Sri Lankan genre that happened to be popular for a week and one person popped off. Like, bro, this is hip hop is everything, dude. We're gonna get to TikTok in a second, but every sound on TikTok is hip hop. Like everything is hip hop. So, and then again, you just nominated Jay-Z for a Lifetime Achievement Award for like the Impact Award. And it's like, bro, like to get it right, bro. I just feel like my beef with the Grammys is like they seem to like go out of their way to get it wrong. And it's just like, duh, like you're corny now. Like you feel like the old people who just like, oh, is that kind of popular? Cool, throw it in there. Like it doesn't seem like there's actual like what's the best way to like experts for each genre. I feel like the same people who are telling us it's the best rap album are the same people who's deciding it's the best contemporary pop album. It's like, bro, like you guys probably shouldn't be judging the same exact thing. Like you should have individuals doing that. So I guess that's like my overall beef with it.
Yeah. And I know it's tough because it's like, for me, I don't even know how to objectively say one thing is better than the other. And it's frustrating because a lot of people are saying, who's Killer Mike? Like name 5 Killer Mike songs and all this. And I hate this numbers game because to make another analogy, I love this one. And I know other people have brought it up, but when you look at movies, the Avengers and Avatar, I think are the top 2 grossing, but any like average level moviegoer probably would not say those are the greatest movies of all time. And yet they sold the most. And I think it's just they appeal to the most people. Everyone, for the most part, you know, is going to probably enjoy some aspects of it.
Yo,
so
but for those though, but where I give the Academy credit, I think they call it the Academy, the Oscars, like the Academy credit, is that they'll add more nominations to at least give those kind of movies recognition, right? Whereas the Grammys are just like, it's like you do this. You could have the biggest moment in a specific genre or music for the year, and they're like, "Oh, that never happened. It's not important." Like, you know what I mean? Like, at least the Academy Awards say, "Yeah, dude, like you're not the greatest movie we've ever seen. The story may be ass, but bro, you fucking put $700 million. You made 1.7. We're gonna at least give you a nomination, so you understand we appreciate what you tried to achieve here." And that's where I give the Academy. I feel like the Academy usually gets it right. Whereas I think the Grammys are just kind of like blind to their specific like criteria, which I think they move that goalpost every year.
Yeah. I don't know. It's strange to me. I try not to care. And for the most part, I don't, to be honest. But sometimes I just scratch my head and I'm like, how did this even happen? Like I'm just so curious what goes on behind the scenes to make some of these odd decisions.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like, again, but dude, like your point, it was accurate. We've been saying this shit for like so many years now, bro. At some point, it's just like, stop watching, right? Like it just like boycotted completely. Because I still remember, and again, in hindsight, Eminem probably deserved it at those times, but maybe because I grew up like in a minority neighborhood at the time, like, bro, when Eminem was winning back-to-back Grammys, they're like, bro, if he wasn't white, this will never fucking happen, blah, 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 blah. But those albums were also great. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. It is what it is. Like, were there any other talking points from the Grammys that you want to, as far as like performances or anything that stood out to you?
I mean, I saw Travis Scott destroying chairs and shit. I'm not sure if that was like some performative rock star thing, or if he was just like, fuck, like, how did I lose to anyone again this time? Like they're sleeping on me, and I could sense it. And for me, I felt kind of bad. I mean, I know a lot of people find it kind of odd to feel bad about anyone who's a multi-millionaire, damn near billionaire, but it just really shows you how much, like, there's a ceiling to how much money can satisfy all your needs, because once you get that, like, then your real focus sets in, and that's like achieving the things you want to achieve, which is why the Drakes and whoever else, will find things that'll still bother them because like once you're rich, it like you're on the same level of playing field as everyone else who are your peers. And clearly he wants a Grammy.
Yeah.
Travis, that is.
And then it clearly feels like you can't buy that, right? So now it's
Right.
like a different level of stress. It's like, bro, I can buy everything else I want, but I can't make this one thing happen. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, dude, I'm sure it'll come for him. But yeah, it's just again, I don't know, but I don't know if Utopia was the album to get him over the edge. I think it should have been Astroworld in my eyes. But well, Astroworld was the year that Cardi B won, right?
Yeah.
Disgrace.
And then
Disgrace,
she
bro.
just fucking accomplished what she wanted and disappeared off the face of the earth musically.
Well, disappeared, but yeah, but stayed relevant with like one
Yeah,
song
stayed
every
relevant.
year, and it's just like, who gives a fuck, right? So just like a
Right.
slap in the face to him. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I just thought the idea of not having hip hop like more on the front and center of what, again, I don't know if there's like a conspiracy behind this, bro. They just don't want to give hip hop the love it deserves, which is weird though, bro, because they did a whole like 50 years of hip hop thing last year. Like it was a full like 20-minute fucking concert they put on. It's like, you would think, bro, but it just feels like with hip hop, it's like, it still feels like it's when hip hop's convenient enough, they'll put it in the limelight as opposed to just making like a mainstay. Because, bro, like, again, I feel like since 1995 or whatever, like hip hop has been one of top 3 genres in America, bro. And it's just like, there's no debating it. So, like, just the idea of it, like, not being a mainstay, just that it could change from year to year as far as like if you're even gonna see who won, like get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah. I feel like unfortunately I think those who don't get it are just more dismissive of it because what we see all the time is the music without substance. And unfortunately I feel like that kind of taints the genre as a whole. And then it's like the Tylers and stuff who stand out, who end up getting credit, but then everyone else is just like, like they'll be fine. This is some TikTok-y shit.
Yeah. Dude, great segue though, because I don't know if they can do any more TikTok-y shit, bro. So I don't know if you've seen our page. I went to my TikTok page, like my personal page. I only have like 9 posts, but bro, I saw that like 6 out of my 9 posts are muted.
Oh shit!
Like, what the fuck's going on? And it's because I used the sound at the time that was available on TikTok from a Universal Music Group artist. And bro, like, I don't know what these influencers are gonna do moving forward or whatever, but bro, TikTok is a very different world these last couple of weeks since, for those listening and watching, Universal Music Group, UMG, the house of some of the most popular artists known in the industry right now, which Drake, Bad Bunny, Taylor Swift, Kid Cudi, Jay-Z, I believe, is part of this. Like, again, all the major artists for the most part, not Doja Cat, because our sound for Doja Cat is still up. So Doja Cat is not signed to Universal. But for the most part, bro, all these sounds are off the TikTok platform because Universal is saying that TikTok is not paying them enough for this. So your thoughts on the act itself of removing your catalogs, and then how you expect TikTok to respond?
I kind of find it a little odd just because like the streaming services don't really pay much at all either. So I've never seen them speak out against that. And on top of that, TikTok is free promotion for just about every artist to a degree, because if your song's trending, like that literally can create careers. So yeah, I think TikTok should be paying something, of course. I just don't know what that amount is.
What that number is? Yeah.
What that number is. But in any case, I feel like at the end of the day, I don't think the well-being of the artists are at all the primary reason. I think it's simply the labels wanting their money. They'll frame it that way, but
100%. I think that's like I think Russ has been a good resource in a conversation like this, because he's like just clowning Universal. It's like, oh, Universal's all about the artist all of a sudden. It's like, is it that, or is it because you see people getting 7 billion views or some shit and you're making $7 off it, kind of a thing?
Right.
Like, yeah, but it's just wild because it is making the interaction with the app now feel very different, right? Because you're used to, especially if you're a hip hop fan or a music fan, like you're used to like scrolling and constantly getting certain songs, played in your head. Like, bro, we just spoke about 2 weeks ago. There's a whole fucking Billboard chart now for TikTok songs. Like, that's, as of right now, irrelevant because it's going to be a fucking dude. Like, when I went to post for like the Taylor Swift post that we did, bro, that was like a DJ remix of a Taylor Swift song that I had to find. Otherwise, you can't find a sound that kind of goes with certain topics. So, like, it is very interesting what's going to happen. I do think at some point, though, TikTok will cave in, right? Like, I think TikTok makes way too much bread to not. But I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if it's going to happen immediately.
Yeah. And I'm curious if this is even going to like really decrease activity or usage or any of that. I mean, obviously as an independent artist, I'm happy that there's like less competition now. Granted, I don't think that means people are all of a sudden going to be, scrambling and searching for new artists. But at the same time, I feel like they'll just come to a solution similar to like YouTube, because it's not like the full song is playing. I mean, they can just have the sound and like, if not already, just have it linked to the artist's streaming services or wherever these labels want to collect their money. And I feel like that'll be an easy middle ground, because on YouTube, we're allowed to play, I think up to 10 or 15 seconds of a song without getting demonetized. So you would think TikTok would just they would operate the same way with TikTok, but it is an interesting battle that they're going through, because I feel like neither party really gives a shit about the artist, and it's almost like the artist has to do all this stuff for free and just hope it leads to something valuable.
Well, I was gonna ask you this, because obviously I know like your songs are available. Are your songs available on TikTok?
Yeah. Yep.
So, a question for you. So, because I was wondering now, because on Instagram Reels, all those sounds are still very much available. Maybe Facebook Meta is paying more currently, but all those sounds are currently available. Do you know what's like for you specifically, like how many times someone has to like use your sound on a reel, and like how much does that lead to like money for you?
TikTok, I don't believe anything. I mean, for one, I haven't had people really use my TikTok sounds, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't pay. Reels is different. I could be wrong about TikTok. I honestly haven't really investigated it, because it's a whole separate beast. But Instagram, I know you can sign up as some sort of creator fund, or sign up for some creator fund. I think we even made some money off the podcast here and there, but I don't know how much it pays. But in any case, I know across the board, it doesn't pay very much. It's nothing to run home to unless you're getting millions of fucking plays. Kind of like our boy West, who got like everybody's using that shit.
And you would think he's making money off that, right?
I would hope so. I don't know what sort of deal he has with the producer, because granted, a lot of the real.
No, but like hypothetically, it's like, say it was just Wes's beat or whatever. Like you would think if a song gets millions of views and it's being used on different platforms, like that sound itself should lead to income for the artist, right? Like you would hope so.
For sure. But a fraction of those millions.
But a fraction, right? Like yeah. Where if it's like back in the day, if you had a single that had over 1 million plays on a certain platform or radio, you would think the artist is making bread. But yeah, I don't know if that's the case today. Which again, I know it's been an ongoing thing, but yeah, it's funny this situation though, because like I think Universal is positioning as a way like our artists deserve this, and it's like, bro, you don't give a fuck about your artists.
No, nobody does, unfortunately.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just interesting, bro. Yeah, because I was like, I know they were teasing this, but then when I went on TikTok, and I was like, oh, why the fuck is our shit muted? I was like, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah, that was like our method of getting like aligning the music with our content so people can discover us.
Yeah, dude, it's fine. We'll figure something else out. But I was like, bro, this is our whole shtick, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Maybe I'll I'll have to download the beat and just like rap over and pretend like impersonate the person and just use that.
Dude, but I'm telling you, those are the current sounds that are available. Like it's a person's version of the song.
What's it called? A cover, yeah.
A cover. Yeah. That's like, dude, I'm telling you, the Taylor Swift thing I posted was a DJ's version of a cover of a Taylor Swift song. And I was like, we still got 900 views, so it worked out for us. But still, I was like, bro, like, this is a sad moment for me. I'm like, bro, like, just pick a fucking normal song. But, oh, man, it's all good.
Maybe as a joke, I'll record one of these days to see if People just start commenting,
dude, that's
blowing up the algorithm.
Can you imagine that's the one that like just like fucking launches your career? You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
and
how'd you do
everyone's
it? It's like,
using
bro,
it. Yeah.
I covered a Doja Cat song and it was like phenomenal.
That's a genius idea. I'll think about it.
You should, dude. You should do
Yeah.
like a cut, like do fucking day and night or something. All right, Grammy results, UMG off TikTok, Vision Pro first impression. Do you want to do real quick before we get to Heat of the Week? All right, so real quick, we'll do it. Do you think that the Aiden Ross, 21 Savage, Aiden Ross, Playboy Cardi scam allegations are truly scams, or is this just an evil genius plot to him to get more attention?
It seems like the latter, but I haven't seen anyone really even entertain the idea of this being staged, which is weird to me because I'm like, it easily could be a possibility. And people call everything else staged and a scam. So how is or staged and scamming the audience?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
for me, I'm still a bit skeptical, but at the same time, the idea of 21 Savage and Playboy Cardi being scummy people would not surprise me in the least. So I don't even know what to think at this point. It's like millionaires fucking each other over.
Yeah, dude. But my thing is like I mean, a bag's a bag, right? But apparently 21 Savage scammed it out of like 200K. And then Playboy Cardi allegedly scammed him out of $2 million and a Ferrari to just stand there in the dark for 6 minutes. Yeah. Like, I don't know, bro. It just feels too stagey. Like, I'm sure Aiden Ross paid them, but like, I don't know, man. Like, again, maybe isn't it
reputation damaging though? Like, not necessarily that big of a deal because their whole persona is just being like shady characters. But don't you think that's just not a good look in general?
For them or for him, for Aiden?
For 21 Savage and Playboy Cardi, I feel like if it is some sort of prank or staged thing, unless they come out and say, haha, this was staged, I feel like it's not a good thing to add to their track record.
Fair. That's fair. But it also, I mean, again, it's still early. I think all this happened like the last like 4 or 5 days. But I don't know, bro. It also could be like, I think they're getting extra clout because people see Aiden Ross as like a culture vulture. So it's like, oh, you got one over on the white boy who thinks he's black and like, yo, fuck him kind of a thing. And I can see Aiden Ross leaning into that and like, yo, it's going to bring me more eyes. So let's fucking do it kind of a thing. Like, I think that aspect of it makes sense to me because I don't know, bro. Like, 21 Savage doesn't need fucking 200 grand from some fucking streamer, bro. Like, and if he does, he'll just say, bro, I'll come on your thing, but you're going to give me 200 grand. And he'll pay, like, I don't know, bro. Like,
you say that, but then, sorry, I'm thinking about like Pooh Shiesty robbing that dude for like sneakers and shit. I feel like these
but Pooh Shiesty and 21 Savage financially are different brackets, bro. Like,
true. But I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know what sneakers he was trying to get, if there was some rare like 30 grand off-whites, but in my mind it was just like them being the type of people they are, knowing they can get away with like just robbing some square dude. I feel like it's just ingrained in them. They're just like, if I can get away with it, like there's no consequences really. What is he gonna do? He's not gonna fight me or target my house.
He's not calling the cops even though it's already fucking being recorded. Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still leaning towards the stage. I think there's going to there may not even be a grand reveal, but I think this is more just, I mean, dude, Kai Cenat getting all the attention, being like the official hip hop streamer. I can see this is just him trying to get more attention. There was like he went through this, him being Aiden, he went through this weird phase when he was like with the Andrew Tates of the world and all that shit. And like, I don't know if he got backlash for that or people were turned off, but I know I can see this being more like, how can I get more eyes on my Twitch stream and get more love from the hip hop community to a certain extent as like the victim? And then these guys just like, bro, like here's, let's make a funny joke of it. I still will pay you something, but just kind of go along with it. Like, I don't know, bro. Like,
yeah.
Again, I think Playboy Cardi is a fucking weirdo. I sent you a video of him wearing a thong today, but for the most part, like I can't see 21 Savage like truly trying to scam this kid, bro. Like I can see it being like a funny thing. It's like, oh yeah, bro, that sounds funny as fuck. But like him like truly like going to his house to sit down with him to play cards and video games just to steal like 200 grand, like I don't know, bro. It seems like a waste.
I could see him scamming. What I have a hard time believing is doing it on camera. That's where I'm like,
Yeah.
hopefully aren't that stupid. If this was behind the scenes, 1,000,000,000% would.
Yeah. Like, this was like at a fucking like in the green room of a concert or some shit that they're just vibing. Yeah, all day, bro. Yes, for sure. But for this to be like, yo, I'm gonna have 21 Savage on my thing, 3 million people are gonna watch. It's like, bro, there's no fucking way. So I'm leaning towards scam, bro, and I think or stage
I'll
is a
lean
better
in there
word.
with you.
Yeah, I think this is more staged than actually a scam. But we'll see, bro. But again, shout out to Aiden Ross. Again, we're talking about him, and dude, he's been relevant for a while. We've never spoken about him, so that's what I'm saying. But I think this is more to get his clout up and like, dude, because I would be honest, bro. Like, I think it's not even close. Who's more of hip hop streamer, like Kai Cenat and Aiden Ross? Like, there's levels to this, bro. And like Kai Cenat is just like so far ahead of all these dudes. So again, I think it's just a way for him to just get more views. But all right, broski, that's all I had. Let's get into Heat of the Week before this shit is over. Heat of the Week, episode 167. Who do you want to talk about?
All right, speaking of time travel in the Vision Pro, the other day I was in the gym, and you know when you have those random moments, you just think of like an old song from like 2008 for no reason, and then you're like, let me play that. So it was actually a Young Buck song called Slow Your Roll with Chester Bennington, I think, from Linkin Park. Anyways, love that song.
Young Buck and a dude from Linkin Park?
Yeah, it's the most random combination, but for some reason it's beautiful and works. It's a heartfelt song about he's basically saying to women and men, like, don't grow up too fast. And then he goes into like all these storytelling situations. And I'll have to send you the song, but it's amazing.
Yeah, please, yeah.
Obviously, listen to that song, Slow Your Roll. And I went to the gym and decided, you know what? Let me listen to the whole album again, because I was
this
like,
is a Young Buck album.
Yep. And it's called Buck the World.
Okay, so was this Buck's first album? No, so it wasn't his first album on G-Unit. Yeah. I think Cashville was the name of the first G-Unit album, right?
Yeah. This one doesn't have that one single, I Know You Gonna Let Me In, or whatever it's called.
Banger.
Yeah, amazing song. And I'd recommend this album for the gym. One, it doesn't sound as outdated as I would have assumed, but the energy, Young Buck's energy out of everyone in G Unit, I think is up there. Especially that one song, Get Buck. It's like dun 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 dun. But the one I'm gonna choose off the album as the Heat of the Week is. It's actually called Money Good, and that's produced by Lil Jon, who I hope will be making an appearance at the Super Bowl. But Money Good is a great one.
Nice, send me that, please, because I love Young Buck, bro. That was, I think, the biggest. I think that was the beginning of the end for G Unit, when like it didn't work out with Young Buck and G Unit, because like, bro, like everyone loves Young Buck, bro. Like. Everyone, bro. Like, he brought an energy. He brought a sense of like, dude, at that point, the South was really on top. And like, all right, G Unit has a very talented Southern rapper who like fucks with them heavy. Like, yeah, bro. I think people really wanted Young Buck to work out. He brought a dimension to the Beg for Mercy album that was needed. Like, bro, I really fucked with Young Buck, bro. Like, he was at one point, and bro, I was huge 50 Cent fan, huge Lloyd Banks fan, huge Game fan, but like, there was a lot of love for Young Buck, bro, because he like I think kind of timeless, bro. Just like a fun Southern energy rap, which is like there's always a mood for that kind of a thing. Yeah. You remember that song that he had with Little Scrappy, Southside?
Yeah.
Bro, was it him or was that Game? That was him, right? That was Young Buck.
Wait, no, sorry, that was Game.
That was Game. My bad. Was it Game?
Southside, Scrappy. Yeah, it was Game. Yeah, because I remember it had like a West Coast beat.
That's what it was. That song was a banger though, bro. Fuck.
Yeah.
That song was a banger. That song, I remember.
Damn, all this shit came out like 20 years ago. Isn't that crazy?
When was that one? When was that one drop?
So Coach Carter.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
It all came out 2005, which feels insane because I feel like I was 18, 17, whatever. Yesterday listening to
2005 is wild, dog. 2005 is when we were like, you tell me, but I feel like 2005 was like when we were finally able to go to house parties like and dance to this shit with like girls, and we were like, bro, this is it, like
Yep.
like I remember like this is like when Drop It Like It's Hot was like at its like it just came out,
man.
bro.
Yeah,
Drop It Like It's Hot. This is the era of fucking Lean Back. This is I remember when the Lean Back remix drop of like Mace, and you're like, bro, Mace is back, bro. Like, what is the dog? Like, that was a good time, bro. I would say like I didn't fall in love with hip hop then because it was already ingrained in me from growing up in New York. But I think like 2005 was like a time where like I fell in love with hip hop again, like in a real way. Cause like, oh, like
Same.
I kind of understand what they're saying now, kind of a thing. Like it's not just like, oh, it's so cool kind of a thing. Like, oh, like I understand what they're saying. I appreciate the beat changes. I was freestyling with friends to different songs. Like it was a different appreciation. So yeah, that was a great time. And Young Buck was to bring it back. Young Buck was a huge part of that for me as well. So.
And every region was doing their thing too, which is dope. Cause I remember like having a hard time choosing if I wanted to listen to like Game and Snoop or Paul Wall and Lil Scrappy and all these guys or whoever from New York. And now it's like everyone's just kind of one dimensional.
So one dimensional, and there seems to be no like bro, I don't want to bring it to sports with analogy, but like there was a beauty in having everything broken down by region, right? Like, all right, that's a Southern rapper, that's a New York rapper, that is a California West Coast rapper. Now it's just like it's all the same, and like you know what I mean? Like there's no fun in that to me, bro. I like when it's like that's a New York sound, bro. So yeah, no, I'm with you. I'll add another song that was a banger during that time that really made me fall in love with hip hop again was the David Banner Little Flip, Like a Pimp. Bro.
Oh yeah, that beat's insane.
Bro, that beat's insane, dude. Like I remember G Unit dropped a mixtape and they freestyle over that beat. I was like, oh my, yo, fuck, man. Like that was a crazy. Let's look up that one. What year was that shit?
I'm gonna guess 2004.
All right, got it here. 2003. So 21 years ago, January 1st, 2003, that shit dropped. That's crazy, dog. We old, dog.
I know.
Yeah, dog. We are old. All right, man. It is what it is, bro. We're still look good. All right. So my hit of the week, it's a little bit more modern. It's actually from the Lyrical Lemonade album. I had time this weekend to finally take a deep dive in it. I enjoyed it. A couple of songs lost me, I'm not going to lie, but the songs I did listen to, I really appreciated. I did finally hear the Doomsday Juice WRLD Cordae song. I know there's a video out for a minute. I'm pretty sure Juice WRLD was still alive for the creation of that song, so it's cool to see it all come together. But, bro, I don't know. Is that
the one that kind of has like an Eminem?
It is the Eminem beat. So the way they have it set up, it's the Doomsday is an Eminem beat. Cordae raps about it, and then the very next song is Eminem re-rapping, like modern Eminem re-rapping over that beat. So the idea conceptually, it's cool. Again, modern ears, you really can't listen to Eminem like that anymore though, bro. Cause it's just like, bro, like I'm not trying to hear you cypher by yourself. Like this isn't it, right? And then bro, I'm telling you, there's like, we should have like, all right, for our next, like, we'll get to my heat of the week in a second, but for our next like gimmick or like shtick, bro, we should like rewatch some of our takes together and react. Because like to our heat of the weeks, right? Like from like a year ago or 2 years ago. Because bro, I vividly remember 2 years ago, you and I were in love with Cordae. Like Cordae could do no wrong. And bro, when I hear him now, I'm like, this nigga? Like I used to like him? Like bro, like
Yeah. Same with like Jaden Smith and a handful of other artists. Who aren't bad. It's just we don't feel
But with Jaden Smith though, I can still go back and listen to the shit I enjoyed and still enjoy it. With Cordae, I'm going back to Cordae shit that I said I enjoyed. And I was like, I don't know if I like it that much, kind of a thing. Like, it's weird.
I think the problem for me is I just keep hearing like a J. Cole attempt with everything. So it's really difficult for me to get past that. And some people can resemble another artist and be, like my mind won't associate them too closely. But with Cordae, it's just like too blatantly like, hey, this is like a lighter version of J. Cole. Too light.
Like, too light. Like, yeah, for sure. But with him too, man, it's like he's even leaning in on it because I think I still follow him or it came up my algorithm, but like he's leaning into like talking about, oh, this was the most successful year of my career, and I didn't put an album out, and I still won this, and I'm like, bro, that's cool, but like realistically, bro, his career seems to be leaning like in the Chance the Rapper route, where like you were huge. I don't think he ever reached the heights of Chance, but you know what I mean? Like you were huge, we loved you, and then something happened where we just don't give a fuck anymore, you know? And I think we're there with Corday. It's just like, I don't know, dog. Like it just, nothing sits well with me. And dude, that's crazy, bro. Because I think I told you he dropped that EP right before the High Level album. That was like 3 or 4 songs. Do a Q-Tip song, a Young Thug song, and I'm like, bro, this is phenomenal. And then that album dropped, and I was just like, bro, this can't be the same guy. Like, it's crazy to fall off, bro.
Yeah, I think it was just too bland, and it's tough because I mean, as an artist, it like. He is talented for sure, but I think when the music doesn't stick, or you're not saying anything brand new, like the music does have to stick if the content's not like interesting enough for you to appreciate.
Also, like bro, like you're not interesting, right? Because there's also like, dude, there's nothing special about you, bro. Not to be a dick, but like, what are we like? If you're not giving us the content, at least like,
something extreme, I guess, to latch on to.
Something. Or something, bro. Like, because again, you dating the #1 tennis player who also doesn't fucking speak and does anything verbally that makes us like intrigued enough. So like, you're just like another guy, and it's like cool, bro. But like, you're another guy who now doesn't put out good music. So why am I still paying attention?
Right. Yeah, I think that's the tough thing about hip hop is you do need to stand out in some way, which is why people end up dyeing their hair and getting fucking like a pair of nuts tatted on their cheek and shit. Like just anything desperate to be like, hey, you have to pay attention to me because I don't look like, your neighbor. I look like somebody who is out of a comic book or some shit.
Something, dude. Yeah, like something. And again, I feel like I don't want to hate it because he's young as fuck, bro. I don't even think he's like 27 yet. Like, good for him for the success he's had. But again, it just reminded me hearing this song. I was like, oh, bro, yeah, we used to love Corday. And like, I'm like, bro, like I don't check for anything, dude. Like he can drop an album and like I'm gonna need multiple people to tell me, yo, go peep that before I actually go listen to that album. So side note. But back to Lyrical Lemonade. I highly recommend people going to check it out. It's only 43 minutes long. A couple really good songs, but the song that stood out to me not the most, but I really appreciated because it felt like a good vibe was Special, which is Lotto, Sway Lee, and our favorite artist for some time now, Amine. Amine sounds great, makes me want a Amine album like immediately. It actually made me go listen to Keitra Amine again, and give it a few listens because I appreciate Amine so much. I feel like he's just fucking on shrooms and enjoying life. And I think he actually has like a pretty big Super Bowl commercial coming up with Captain Morgan's. So yeah, man, good for him, bro. He's again another artist who I think keeps you engaged in other ways besides just content, and then it makes you fall in love with the content even more. So yeah, I would say Lyrical Lemonade, the album is All Is Yellow, but any one song that could kind of like lure you in some more, I would say Special with Lotto, Sway Lee, and Amine is a good place to start.
Yeah, that song is great. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, honestly, there was a couple other ones, bro. Like again, I don't really know. My issue with this is like, I don't know what the overall theme of this album was. You know what I mean? Like again, it's a fucking collab album with a bunch of artists. So I get like it's hard for it to be cohesive. I'm fully aware of that. But with the really good ones, bro, like at least there's some production that's similar. Like again, I feel like Metro Boomin is the standard, right? Maybe that standard is just far too high. But like, man, like at some of these songs, I was like, what's the point of this, bro?
No,
like,
all right, cool. I have
like a playlist.
Why is this here? Like,
correct.
I just took 4 songs and then walked away. I'm like,
correct. Yeah. Like it was the This Is My Life with Tekka, Kid Laroi, and Lil Skies. Like, all right, that's cool. I like all 3 of you, but like as a body of work, I'm just like, But like to your point, I think Blair said it great. Like this is a great album to go find the 5 songs you like, add it to your playlist, and just move on with your life. Because as far as like front to back, there's no point. But a couple sleepers for sure. So that's Heat of the Week, bro. So let's get out of here. Let the people know what we got going on. It's been a run.
Yes, sir. Catch us at audio-theory.com. New episode every week on all platforms. We also got the merch on the website. So if you're on YouTube, look down below, copy a hoodie, sweater, sticker, what have you. The Spotify and Apple Music playlists are on the site as well. So be sure to go there and be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, do what you can to support the podcast.
Go donate. I got a wedding to pay for. That charge is
And
$6.50 an
donate,
hour.
please.
Yeah, so I
And I got a Vision Pro that I kind of want. You're gonna have to donate a lot for that though.
Yeah, how much did you pay for the Quest?
It was only like 200.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that was
That's
Quest
crazy.
2. The new Quest 3 is like 400. So I bought it on Amazon, and then I was like, if I like it enough, if it's that much of an upgrade, I'll keep it. But it wasn't, so I just returned it.
Could it do any of the things that you were able to do with the demo Vision Pro?
I think you can do virtual desktop of some sort.
Okay.
I think it does have hand tracking, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know if it's as functions
Intuitive?
as well as the Apple version. But I knew I wasn't gonna like I'm so used to my just regular computer setup that I don't think I'm at that stage in life where like I want to have fucking 30 screens around me and shit. Like,
yeah,
I'm very simple. I watch YouTube and that's it.
Yeah, and it might just be for that person who literally needs to have 4 or 5 screens but can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't afford it, then how the fuck can you afford it?
Well, I heard engineers. I don't know what engineers do, but I've seen engineers setups like, and they have all kinds of like. I guess they need a lot of space to see all the code.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard for them it's pretty productive.
And that's what to give you more context. My soon-to-be brother-in-law is an engineer, so that's why.
Oh, totally makes sense then.
Yeah, it makes sense for him. Cool, bro. Appreciate it as always, bro. Love you. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.
Peace.